Hello, my love, and welcome back to the Behind the Layers podcast, the podcast where I'll be guiding you to your most confident self. And I'm beyond excited for today's episode because the topic is just so extremely potent. So let's just dive right in. Have you ever stopped to think about how the words that you use shape your reality? What if I told you that the way you talk to yourself has the power to either limit your potential or unlock it? Today, we're diving into how your words influence your identity, confidence, and ultimately the life you create. Whether you're dreaming of a life full of travel, love, and financial freedom, or simply want to feel more magnetic and self assured, this episode is for you. So, let's start with a question. How often do you catch yourself saying things like, I'm so anxious, I'm insecure, or I'm just not the kind of person who does that, or that's just not for me? These statements aren't just harmless self talk, they shape your identity. When you say, I am anxious, you're attaching anxiety to who you are, making it harder to break free from it. The same for shyness, insecurities, or laziness, for example. So think about it. If you convince yourself you are a shy person, you will act shy. If you tell yourself you're not confident, you will struggle to step into your power and actually feel confident. These words become self fulfilling prophecies, keeping you stuck in a version of yourself that doesn't align with your dreams. So, how do we break free from this cycle of self talk? The key is to shift from identifying with all of these feelings to simply experiencing them. And language is so extremely important for this. So instead of saying, I am anxious, try to say, I'm experiencing feelings of anxiety or I feel anxious. Instead of, I'm insecure, you can say, I'm feeling a bit unsure right now. This small shift in language creates a powerful mindset change, and it reminds you that these feelings are temporary. They don't define you. You are not them. The same as you are not happiness. You're experiencing happiness. You're not an anxious person. You're a person experiencing anxiety or experiencing anxious feelings. You're not insecure. You're feeling a moment of self doubt. And when we stop identifying with these feelings, we stop keeping ourselves small because we have so many feelings in our day. And when you identify with the negative feelings mostly, you're going to feel very small. You're going to keep yourself stuck. Because if you identify as someone with self doubt all the time who doesn't trust themselves, in moments where you need to make a decision, you will convince yourself that you can't because you're a person who. So we need to stop identifying with negative feelings and just say that we experience them. So the first solution to shifting your self-talk for sure is reframing your language. It is becoming aware of when you are saying things that are keeping you small and changing your language instead. And you can do this whenever. When you're in a conversation and you just say like, yeah, no, I cannot do that. I'm too anxious for that. Just stop yourself there and shift. And you're like, no, wait, maybe I can do that, but I must say I am feeling a little bit anxious about that. Those small changes, you don't know how much power they have over your life. Another game changer to change in your language to feel more confident is to stop apologizing for who you are and start speaking confidently about yourself. And this is so scary for a lot of people because there's a lot of judgment that can come up because society doesn't like us being confident. Society wants us to be humble. And this is such an interesting thing in our society because when you are struggling, when you're insecure, people will tell you, you should love yourself more. You are pretty. You are good. You are this. You should be more confident. The moment you become really confident and you don't downplay yourself anymore and you start speaking confidently, then society often tells us to be humble. But there's a fine line between humility and undermining your own worth. When you start downplaying your successes, I don't think you are being humble. I think you are shrinking yourself. And I believe confident people don't mind you speaking confidently about yourself. Only insecure people will feel like something is off when you show up with confidence and you let go of the self doubt. Because subconsciously, we actually know that when we talk down about ourselves or we speak with doubt, it makes others feel more comfortable and it makes others like us more. If somebody is fully confident speaking to an insecure person, there's less of a chance that this person will fully like this person, if you get what I mean. So, a really good step in your self talk is to use encouraging language towards yourself. Don't be humble, be confident about yourself, and celebrate your wins and celebrate your strengths, and don't play them down. And another interesting thing that you can also start applying is to talk positively about yourself, even in things you haven't achieved just yet. And this one can be really off-putting for a lot of people, but you can explain what you're doing to them, or you can just go with the flow. So let me give you some examples. You can say to yourself, I'm a person who values movement. Even if you're just starting your fitness journey, you don't have to wait to identify with something positive until you've been doing it for some time. You can already say these things to yourself because your words will shape your actions, and your actions will shape your identity. Another thing you can say is, I'm a confident person. Even though you're still working on that confidence, you're still building it. Start playing with encouraging language and see what that does for you. Because once again, your words will shape your actions, and your actions will shape your identity. And when you start changing those words to confident words, changing those actions towards confident action, and you eventually create this really grounded, big, confident identity, here's the truth as well. Maybe the negative truth we already touched upon briefly. But when you start speaking confidently about yourself, not everybody will cheer you on. Some people might feel uncomfortable because your confidence reflects their own insecurities. Here's what I want you to know. Those people aren't necessarily your people. You don't have to keep yourself small to make them feel more comfortable. They are walking their journey, and if your confidence is a reminder for the things they still need to work on, that's a blessing to them, but most people don't realize how much of a blessing that is, and they can start judging you or supporting you less. But please keep going, because confident and successful individuals don't mind you speaking highly of yourself. In fact, they will celebrate it. So use your words as a filter. If someone tries to knock you down, it's a sign that they're not aligned with the life you are so hard trying to create, because insecure people don't want you to rise. So if you want to become a confident person, insecure people can be a danger to that confidence. It can make your journey go slower. So right now, I hope you are feeling motivated to change your self-talk. I hope you see the potential it has in changing not only your life, but also how you feel about yourself. So I want to give you 4 practical steps to shift your self-talk. The first step is to increase awareness, because awareness is the first step to change. And an amazing way to do this is through journaling. So writing down limiting phrases you often say about yourself, how they are impacting you when they are coming up, and how they are impacting your actions after you've said that. Because when you write down all the things that are limiting you, all the ways that you're talking down on yourself, when you are in a conversation or when you are lost in thought, it becomes so much more easy to notice these specific phrases. So the first step today, if you want to implement this, is journal. The second step that you can implement is pausing and correcting. So whenever you catch yourself saying something like, I'm so anxious, or I'm so shy, or I'm not made for this, we pause because we have increased our awareness, and we reframe it. We say something different. We say, I'm feeling anxious right now. And we can do this in our thoughts, because a lot of times we have negative self-talk in our thoughts. Or when we are in conversation with someone else, we can honestly just pause and rephrase that sentence. The third step we can do is to kind of act as if. So start acting in alignment with the person you want to become. If you want to be confident, speak and act confidently, even if it feels unfamiliar at first. Because remember what I said about your words. Your words influence your actions, and your actions create your identity. So if you act as a specific identity that you want to become, you become that person. It's that simple. If you want to become a very fit person, start acting like a fit person, and I can guarantee you become that person. The final step, which is so overlooked, but so important, and that is to celebrate your wins. Because the moment you start speaking to yourself more positively, it might feel like it's not a really big thing, but it is. It's a really, really big thing that you're changing. Changing your language is not easy. So you being here is already something to celebrate, because it needs a lot of awareness and motivation to realize that maybe we need to change our self-talk. And the moment you notice yourself becoming more aware of your self-talk, making small changes, you need to celebrate those. So at the end of each day, write down all the things you did well. Reinforce the positive language by acknowledging your progress. So I am so excited for you to implement these steps. Also, feel free to ask me any questions about them in the DMs if you want more information. If you loved this episode so far, it would mean the world to me if you left a little comment, so I know you listened, I know you loved it. So a little last word of encouragement. Your self-talk isn't just about how you feel today. It's about the life you're creating for yourself in the future. If you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, you will stay small. But if you speak to yourself with love and confidence, you become unstoppable. So just imagine the life that you want. Maybe traveling the world, building meaningful relationships, and achieving financial freedom. And now ask yourself, what kind of language do I need to speak to myself to make that a reality? Because I can tell you, the most successful people definitely aren't talking down on themselves all the time. Your words have the power to shape your entire reality. Start today by becoming aware of your self-talk and making small, intentional shifts. Journal it, reframe it, and celebrate your wins. And remember, the more you speak confidently about yourself, the more you will attract people and opportunities that align with your dreams. So before we end today's episode, I want to ask you, what is one limiting phrase you're going to reframe today? If you feel comfortable, share it with me in the DMs or in the comments down here. I would love to hear how you're stepping into your power and to, of course, cheer you on. So, final reminder, you are not your fears, your doubts, or your insecurities. You are a powerful, magnetic individual capable of creating a life you love, full of love, travel, and abundance. So start speaking to yourself like the confident, unstoppable person you are deep down, and watch your reality transform. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you are feeling inspired and motivated, and I will see you next week, same day, same time. With much love, Melinda.